at Avalon Department of Public Works, and joined with me is Bill Macomber. Bill is the Director of Public Works. Bill, thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it.
You're quite welcome.
So tell us, how many miles of roadway are you covering during the winter, and how many people do you have on staff?
We have about 25 people. We cover roughly 41 miles of road, 83 miles when you're doing both sides, of the traffic.
Sure. So decent amount of roadway here. Being a shore town, of course, we're always focused on the environment. We have the ocean right next to us, the bay right next to us. And something I noticed on some of your trucks, not only does it say cooler by a mile, but it says greener by a mile as well. So tell me some environmental initiatives you're doing during the winter season when we're talking about snow and ice and all that nasty stuff.
Well, the greener by the mile is basically due to the recycling that Avalon is involved in, which also part of that is keeping the streets clean, litter-free, dirt-free, salt-free after the end of the snow season.
Okay.
Cooler by a mile because we're a mile out further than the mainland.
Sure, so. Absolutely. Easy enough for that one.
Yep.
During the winter season, and just to kind of sidetrack, our winter forecast, we have been calling for at least an active winter with good shots of cold air coming in. Whether or not that equals to a lot of snow remains to be seen, but of course, winter season, we're talking about getting our roadways down right to the blacktop, but we also want to make sure we're not using a lot of salt, and we don't want to harm the environment as much as we possibly can. So what are you guys doing here to kind of reduce your salt usage while also maximizing efficiency as well?
Well, we don't dump salt down before the storm gets here. We watch and maintain as we go. Once the storm gets here, the snow arrives, we start doing main traffic routes, exit routes to town, and then as the snow progresses and gets deeper, then we start getting more streets in town and opening up everything a little wider. We use rubber blades on our plows so we can really clean the snow off the streets before we need to salt them, and that's worked out very well. We now use more treated salt than any salt. Treated salt's a biodegradable product. It does help in colder temperatures. It'll go down to 15 degrees below zero, where salt is only good to 18 above. We keep about 100 tons on hand. We have availability to as much as we need so far, and we order it as we need it.
Right.
So as we start using it, we start replacing it.
And how much salt have you noticed, like over your time as DPW director? I think you said you've been doing 12 years, right, as director?
12 years.
You've seen a reduction in the amount of salt you guys have used while also making sure the roads are clean.
The treated salt we don't have to put down as heavy as a regular salt. And that and its own is what's saving us product and taxes and finances to keep the salt down. Sure. Cleaning up afterwards is a good thing. We use our street sweepers. We clean up after these storms to try to keep the salt out of the bays and the oceans.
Okay, and have you seen any impact positively when it comes to the environment or any of the grasses or shrubs and of course near the ocean over time?
The older salt, the regular salt, ends up burning the grasses and killing the flowers and burning vegetation. The new treated salt doesn't do as much damage. It's a heavier salt product. It drops down before it hits the grasses and the flower beds.
Great, Bill. Thanks so much.
So it works great.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.